Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Jeff Richter, and welcome back to Retired Guy's Garage. Hey, listen, today we're looking to work on something completely different. So this has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with cars or trucks or equipment or anything. What it has to do with is our hot tub that's quit working the other day, and, well, you know, we got to have the hot tub. So this is a real common problem on these. We actually have a Coleman Spa, one of the inflatable tubs. And one of the real common problems on it is that after about a year or so of using it, having it turned on, yada, 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 it comes up and pops an E02 fault code. And from everything I've seen online and everything I've read, it appears that it's because the impeller in the pump assembly goes bad. So we are going to be working on replacing that today. Got one off Amazon. I'll drop a link to it down below so y'all can see what I used, and hopefully that'll fix it so we can get our hot tub back up and running, because gotta have a hot tub, right? Everybody needs a hot tub. So anyway, let me flip you around here real quick, and I'll show you what I've done so far. Apologize for not getting the video started earlier, but kind of got into it and kind of forgot to start shooting video. But basically all I've done so far is take out a bunch of screws and separate the two halves of the assembly to get to the meat and potatoes of it. So here we have the meat and potatoes of it. You see there, that's the top side, this is the bottom side. I think, nope, other way around. This is the bottom side, and that is the top side of it. So this is turn this over for you and show it to you real quick. This part, nobody wants to see me that up close. So the impeller, this is the pump assembly right here. You can see the wires going to the back of it there. And so this is the pump assembly. And like I said, all I did was just remove a bunch of screws to get to this part, to get to this point. So separated there's a cover on the bottom that's separate, and then you just separate the two halves, and the pump assembly's right here. Now, the other thing we got to worry about is, or the other thing we got to do is the fact that there's 1, 2, and 3 screws that hold this into the outer cover assembly that you got to take apart, because you got to get to that pump assembly. But the only way to do that is to get it out of this housing. And the other thing I did was I disconnected the plug for the control head from that. So there was a zip tie holding it together, so I just took the zip tie apart, cut the zip tie off. I'll put a new one on here when I put it back together. But yeah, so let's get this thing, finish getting this thing apart and get that pump pulled apart and see what it looks like. And hopefully I'll show you what I got off Amazon. So this is what comes on Amazon. So fairly, actually not fairly, really, compared to the cost of a new pump, this thing was, I think with shipping and tax, or with cost of the part and tax, I want to say it was like 18 bucks. So, but a new pump is going to cost you a couple $100, almost as much as a whole hot tub, believe it or not. So we'll get this thing, finish getting this thing taken apart, and get you some more video here in just a few minutes. I'm not going to bore you with all that stuff, because I might have to fight with it a little bit, and if I do, I'll let you know. Yeah, so let's finish getting this thing apart and get that impeller pulled out, and I'll show you the contents of the package too when I get to that point. So sit tight. I'll be right back with some more video. Several little machine screws all the way around the outside edge that hold this thing together. And this, actually, so you can see the electrical wires going to, this is the actual pump, and this apparently is the culprit, is what they're telling me, to repair that E02 code. So we'll get that pulled out and put back together. The kit gives you a new seal. Apparently, when these things start leaking as well, not only does it, I've got another pump actually two other pumps out in the backyard in the shed that have leakage, and apparently it's this seal right here that's the culprit for that problem too. So I'm going to go ahead, if this works and makes this thing work again, which I'm hoping it does, because it's only, like I said, it was only like $20 with $18 with tax. Hopefully this will make this thing work, and I'll fix the other two also. I'll keep one for a spare, and you never know, I might throw the other one on the old Facebook Marketplace and sell that one. So, all right, I'm going to get that package with the new one taken, unpackaged, and get the parts out, spread out, and I'll show you what all that entails. All right, so got the new water pump impeller on. This piece right here, it just pops out. One thing I will caution you on, though, is make sure that you get these. See these little rubber things? They go on the end of this rod that goes, so these right here, so these rubber pieces, because both of them were left in the pump and in the other in the housing. So make sure you get those out, because otherwise you won't be able to get it back together if you don't do that. New seal didn't seem to want to sit down in there very well in the in the groove, so all I did was put a little bit of weather strip adhesive on there to kind of hold it in place. I'm going to go ahead and clean this muckety muck off here and put it back together, and we'll shoot some more video here in just a few seconds. So hopefully we'll get this thing back together and get it running tonight. That'd be really nice. All right, be right back. Stay with me. All right, so got the assembly put back together and everything's snugged up. I'm actually just going to take a regular Phillips head screwdriver here in just a second. Just touch them. I kind of threw it together with my drill driver there, but just double check them with a regular Phillips head screwdriver. And then going to get this assembly back into the bottom half here, mount it back in there, and hopefully put this thing together and put it back together and get it back on the hot tub tonight. So anyway, okay, let me get this thing, we'll get the bottom half back in. That's going to take some finagling, so I don't have enough hands for that. So I'll bring y'all back here in just a few minutes. All right, so as you can see, there's the old one, and there's the old rod that goes through it, and the old seals. So you can see the new one actually comes, I don't know why, but well, I mean, it comes with an extra rod and extra seals as well, I guess in case you mess up the first one. Those rubber O-rings go inside the hoses, but they have crush clamps on them, and I wasn't about to mess with that. So hopefully when we get this thing back together, it won't leak, and I won't have to worry about that. And they do give you some new screws to put the motor back together with, to put the pump back together with, but I just reused the old ones because there was nothing wrong with them. So, but yeah, so we've got the lower half of the assembly put back together. Like I said, there's just 3 of these small black screws, 1, 2, and 3 that hold this hold the pump assembly into the lower half of the case. And we're going to go ahead and get the upper half set on. Gonna have to flip it over because all the screws go in from underneath, go in from the bottom side. We'll flip it over on its top. Make sure I plug this back in again for the control panel, and we'll go over and get it on the hot tub, and hopefully it works. So we'll go from there. All right, stay tuned. We'll finish this up here, and hopefully we'll have a hot tub up and running tonight. That'd be really nice. Okay, so kind of fill you in on what I didn't film in the first place. So these are the screws that hold the 2 halves together. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's 1 on the back side. So there's 6 there. Good to note, there's 6 longer and 6 shorter screws. The 6 longer screws, as I found out, go down here on the bottom half to hold the halves together, and then the 6 shorter screws hold this cover in place. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws up on this that hold this plate in place. So but that's it. It's all back together. Gonna go put it on the tub now and plug her in and see what happens. Keep my fingers crossed that it fixes this E02 message that it's got on it, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, apparently, well, I know for a fact this is. Let me fucking see me instead. For those of you that want to, I mean the 2 of you that are actually going to watch this video, but yeah. So this is a real common problem on these hot tubs, these Coleman Sally Spas. I'm not sure about the other Coleman models, but it's an inflatable hot tub, 2-person hot tub. It says 4, but yeah, you get a guy my size in there, and you're lucky to get 1 more person in there, nonetheless 3 more. Yeah, so this E02 message, pretty common problem on these, has to do with a flow issue, which is clearly, you know, that impeller, as long as the pump is still good, I'm hoping. There wasn't really any way to check that while I had it apart, but well, didn't take too long, maybe about 45 minutes or so to put that in, once I figured out what exactly I needed to take apart. And yeah, so we'll get it put back on the hot tub here in a few minutes, and hopefully it'll work. Sit tight. I'll be right. All right. Well, that was a successful installation. No more error code. Easy for me to say. I'll flip this thing around in just a second and show it to you. But yeah, you know, about 45 minutes and $20 worth of parts, and boy, I'll tell you, that's a pretty slick installation. So I'll flip you around here. You can see I've got two more of these pumps sitting over there that are leaking, and from what I understand, it's those pump seals. The one that I had to put a little bit of sealer in, weather strip adhesive, to hold that in place. Well, so that seal will stay in place. But from my understanding, it's that $20 kit will solve that problem as well, that leakage problem as well. So I'm going to grab 2 more of those kits. I'm going to keep one as a backup, and I'm going to probably sell the other one on Facebook Marketplace. So, but yeah, so she's running good. Everything's flowing fine. And if there was an error code, it would show up right here as an E02, but it's not. So everything seems to be running well. I'm going to finish filling this up, and hopefully by tomorrow night we'll be able to get back in this thing. So anyway, hey, so as always, I do appreciate y'all watching, the 2 of you that do, but stay tuned, more videos on the way. We got the Trans Am video started. I'll be posting probably a couple of a couple of episodes of that, maybe the first 2 episodes of that, the subframe install. So I got that coming up here real soon. But we'll get this one up. This one's going to come up next week, I think, this hot tub video, because this is something I think a lot of folks can benefit from. So, as always, really appreciate y'all watching, seriously. And if you like what you're seeing, by all means, hit that like button. If you have any comments, good, bad, or otherwise, I'll be happy to take them all. I'll respond to them as I can. And if you like the content I'm providing, make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, I'm Jeff Richter, and this is Retired Guy's Garage. Thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next one.